I accidentally hit the button before I actually had the phone on the tripod. So give me a minute here. We're going to set things up. I'm sorry about that, you all. That was a big mistake, but it is what it is at this point, okay? Hey, there we go. Woo! There we go, YouTube. What it is, it's your host with the most, THEMOSHOW Chicago, where the execution of knowledge is POWER. And we are back again from the dead. Woo! We are back again from the DEAD. For those of you who didn't know, I recently suffered a heart attack. DEAD. However, the universe decided that it wasn't my time, okay? So I'm back in action with you all down here at the Buckingham Fountain here in Chicago on Columbus Drive. And if you're not here, you are missing the best party in TOWN. But before we get started, I want to send a shout out to a YouTuber by the name of R3ALIST. I want to send a shout out to R3ALIST. All of the YouTubers that watch me and all of the YouTubers that I watch, he was the only YouTuber that sent me his condolences and hope that I got well. That's a damn SHAME. I'm just saying, that is truly a shame. But I want to thank you, R3ALIST. I could not leave you out on this live. Yes, Mo is BACK. And speaking of dead bodies, me being one of them prior last week, Brendan Johnson had removed all of these shot spotter cameras across the city. And according to the reports, he has like 5 bodies on his hands right now. 5 bodies. And that baby boy that they're not telling us about, where these people were actually murdered, laying in an alley for days, laying on the street. No one's caught, no one's apprehended. Why? Because he got rid of these shot spotter cameras. And all of these people urged him, whom he handpicked, aldermen, policemen, asked him to keep these shot spotters camera in play, but he did not. Anyway, needless to say, crime is about to go up more here in Chicago. Let me fix this here. Crime is about to go up here in Chicago. I think that's a better view for you all, okay? Crime is about to go nuts. And yes, Brendan Johnson, you have something to do with these crimes not being solved here in Chicago, where you're the mayor. Hell, you're having problems with Pedro Martinez, who's in what? Charge of the school systems here in Chicago. You say that you didn't want the man to resign, but you do want the man to resign. Either way, Pedro Martinez, you have got to go, according to Mayor Brandon Johnson, because you are interfering with finances for the city, because the city don't have enough to pay for what you want, meaning more money for teachers and all of this stuff. However, I feel that the city do have money, seeing that they're passing it out like water to immigrants. Don't get me started on that again. Passing out money like water to immigrants. And if you go to their country, you ain't gonna get nothing. Nothing, not a dime, but a kick in the ass and probably go to jail. I'm just saying. Yeah. And more news here in Chicago. Women are fighting back. They're shooting back. Hey, you have this 23-year-old female who shot this 38-year-old man on the Chicago CTA Red Line train. According to the reports, Chicago Sun-Times, they got into an argument and the woman stepped to him. Pulled out the ratchet, shot him in the shoulder. She didn't kill him, but she shot the man. Maybe she feared for her life, but she stepped to him because she had that strap on her. However, the passengers on the train attacked the shooter. When does that ever happen in Chicago? She got attacked by other riders on the train and was held until the police got there to apprehend her. This is something that we probably need more of in Chicago. But if you are a Chicagoan like I am, you know to stay out of people's business. However, if we want to make this a safe place to live, or a more safe place to ride trains and ride buses, citizens must step up when they see crime going on. I'm just saying. It can be your grandmama, it can be your uncle, it can be your cousin, it can be your brother, your daddy, your grandparents, somebody in your family, and I'm sure that you will want someone to help them. But seeing that we are the city of gangsters and cold-hearted, we sometimes don't get involved with other people's business, because that is the quick way you can get your cut off. Yeah, I'm just saying, people lose lives that way. Especially when you have sisters that's in relationships with some buster dude, okay? With some buster ass dude who wanna lay hands on her, you know, and then you gotta come be like Captain America to save the day. But here it is, when you have females who are relatives, they sometimes call the police on you for victimizing the culprit, which is their bum-ass boyfriend or husband. They victimize, they say that you victimize them because you beat them up, even though they call you on the phone for some H-E-L-P. They say they need some ayuda in Spanish, help. But when they call the police on you for being Captain America to save them, you ain't got no help. And they got to go to court against you. Or if they say that they're not coming to court, where the state pick up the charges. People don't understand that when they make that phone call to the popo, that somebody's going to jail, somebody's getting charged, and the state is picking up charges whether you want them to or not. That's just the way it's G-O-E-S, okay? And I'm sure that's all across America right now. I'm just saying, so if you got a sister, you got an aunt, you know, I would say more so sisters. More so sisters do that. Aunts have a little more control over their relationships, or aunts get real gangster. They'll pull it out on them. They'll pull a strap out on a bum-ass nigga and do what to him? Cut off his aunt. You know, get it cut off. Whack him. And speaking of whack, what's whack? You have all of these correctional officers in the Illinois juvenile correctional system. Chaplains, teachers, whack. Why? Because they've been sexually abusing these young people in juvenile detention centers across the state of Illinois. In fact about it, you have 16 juvenile correctional facilities across the state with over 850 beds. And according to the Sun Time newspaper, I believe that is 856. That's what they said in the paper. 856 beds, 16 detention centers, and how many victims? Thousands. Thousands of young men and women who were raped by correctional officers, who was raped by teachers in the juvenile correctional system, by chaplains that's in the juvenile correctional systems. According to the reports on Monday, they say that over 222 new cases have been filed. Do you know what that's going to do to the state? Do you know what that's going to do to the state? What is it going to cost the state to settle these lawsuits? They can't throw them all away. Somebody's got to be found guilty. Somebody's got to go to jail. Somebody's got to get fired. How can you pay someone money for that type of damage? I guess if you can pay someone's family for killing someone, and if you are a cop in the state of Illinois or in the city of Chicago, and you pay the family, well, I guess you have to pay these young men and women who was victimized by city and state workers whom they were supposed to trust, but didn't get trusted. They got busted. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So hey, be aware out there. When you're getting in trouble and you're going to these juvenile facilities in Illinois, my best advice to you is don't go to one. Don't get in trouble so that you would have to go to one. I wonder how many cases do they have in the juvenile correctional facility that's right over here, right off of Roosevelt and Damon, in the medical area. They call it medical center. The medical center area. You got Malcolm X over there. You got the old Cook County Hospital. You got Rush Presbyterian Hospital. You got another hospital over there. The medical center stop. And if you are on the Blue Line train, that's where you get off at. The medical facility center. That's the train stop. Okay? And speaking about Chicago transportation, you have citizens of Chicago who want route number 16 to be restarted again. And if you don't know what route 16 is for buses in Chicago, that is the Lake Street bus. Runs from Austin and Lake all the way down to the Fulton Market, which is almost like by Halsted Street. Okay? Like from 1600 West, 1600 West to 800 West. They want that route reestablished, but the city say that they ain't got no money for that. The city say they ain't got no money for that. But they got money to give immigrants. All kind of monies. They give them home, cars, shelter. They got money for that, but they ain't got money for the citizens who want that route back. I'm just saying. And speaking of money, Chicago say that stimulus checks are rolling again. According to the reports from Mayor Brandon Johnson's office, stimulus checks, $500 a month for 12 months will be given to Illinois residents in the city of Chicago who are eligible to get the money. Now, if you want to know how or if you're eligible, you can go to www.chicago.gov, okay, and get that information. Just like the information with the lawsuits that's pertaining to the juvenile correctional system and the sexual abuse that happened, just type in Illinois sexual abuse in the juvenile detention centers and all the information will pop up. Okay? And HEAP, for us, people in Illinois, we call it HEAP, but it's called LI-HEAP, you know. And that is for people who are going through hard times with their utilities. Right now, Chicago's Commerce Department is setting aside $226 million to help out citizens in Chicago who's having problem paying their light bill, heating bill, etc. So if you're interested, you can go to the HEAP, LIHEAP.com, and see if you qualify, get the information, and fill out the information so that you can get your check, okay? Or just pay it on your bill. More than likely, they'll just put it on your bill versus sending you a check. I remember that back in the day. Hell, I remember when I got HEAP, okay? I remember those days when I got HEAP. Yeah. I didn't have to worry about a winter light bill. I didn't have to worry about a winter gas bill, heating bill. I didn't have to worry about it for the winter. So by the time spring came around, I was all cut up, okay? So you can do the same, okay? Just don't run your lights and heat all day long just because you got some credit to your account. You may have to really use it one day. I'm just saying. What else we got here? This didn't happen in Chicago, but it was a very interesting story, okay? And this story here is about a man in Philadelphia by the name of Kylan Pratt, 23 years old. Yeah, a man. Check this out. He shot and killed his lover, which was another man by the name of Nasir Johnson, age 20. And after he shot and killed him, he took him to Fairmount Park and burned his body along one of those trails, you know, biking trails, walking trails, hiking trails. Yeah, in Fairmount Park. Two gay men. Two men who were homosexuals. And Kylan Pratt, he didn't want anyone to know about his engagement with his romantic affair that he was having with 20-year-old Nasir Johnson. According to the reports, Nasir Johnson left his family house in an Uber and drove over to his lover's house, Kylan, and when he got there, he shot him in his neck. He shot him in his neck. Is it safe to say that the man bled out? I wonder, how did he get him in the car? How did he, you know, what was his way of wrapping him up? What was his way of not being seen with his body? But obviously he was seen doing something with his body because he was found guilty. Life without parole. And another consecutive 4.5 to 9 years after the life sentence. Damn, you will never get out. And you shouldn't. You shouldn't get out. If you had to kill this man trying to cover up your relationship with him, why would you even have a relationship with a gay man if you didn't want the world to know that you were gay? Were you trapped in the closet? I'm just saying. Obviously you wasn't. Because I'm sure that somewhere along the line that people saw you or had an inclination. I'm sure that Nasir Johnson family knew that you all were having a relationship. I'm sure of that. But needless to say, even the prosecutors, okay, said that this man, Kylan Pratt, tried to cover up the romantic relationship after he killed him by burning his body so that no one would know. Why would you want to do that? Why even? Dumb, that's why. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Stupid is, stupid does. You know what I'm saying? Just don't be one of those monkey sees, monkey do's, okay? Not unless you want to end up with life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus another 4.5 to 9 years added to your life in sentence. I'm just saying. What do you think? What do you think? I think something else. I think something about those dock workers, okay, who were striking on the East Coast, up and down the Gulf Coast as well. And they say like 6 ports are in New York. I remember one of those piers, at Pier 17. Y'all know what I'm talking about. New York. Anyway, they say that a lot of containers, thousands of containers, ended up on different ports, meaning they landed on the wrong ports because dock workers said, screw you. Now these people are already making anywhere from $20 an hour to $39 an hour at this present moment, okay? That's what they're making right now. $20 an hour in your first year, all the way to $39 an hour. But they want a $5 increase, and they can max out at $69 an hour. Do you think that's fair? So they want a new contract to end this strike, with starting them off at $44 an hour. Then the next year goes to $49 an hour. Then it goes up to $69 an hour to work on the dock. Now keep in mind, some of these dock workers have been fired, laid off, because they have all of these driverless forklifts, driverless cars that goes into these containers and do what they need to do. They took the place, robots, took the place of human laboring, okay? So you think about that. And a lot of people are scared. And according to the New York Post and the New York Times, there are some things that's going to be affected, like bananas. 75% of your bananas are not from the United States. You know, they're from different countries, like Ecuador. Some from India, Indonesia. You got machinery, tools, and parts. Fabricated steel. These things have been left at wrong ports. Auto parts. So if you're a mechanic, or if you work in an AutoZone or O'Reilly, your car parts may be late, you know, because ain't nothing moving right now. Dock workers say that they can collapse this economy if this goes on for a month or two. That's according to the long fishermen, you know, the association. The people that work on the docks. The Longshoremen, yes, the Longshoremen Association. I finally got that right. I just had to get it right in my brain for a minute, okay? The Longshoremen Association says that this place can be shut down in what? In a month or two. I'm just saying. But we got to go right now, you all. Leave your comments in the comment section. And on your way out the door, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to help ensure that you get notifications when I upload videos on YOUTUBE. Also, press those condiments to like and to share. Share the information with relatives, friends, co-workers, anyone that you come into contact with. It is a magnificent way to jumpstart your conversation. Also, go over to my other pages, also go over to my other channels if you haven't done so yet. Mo Powers, MOPOWERZ, and THEMOSHOW Classics. All one word, no space, here on YOUTUBE. Thanks for viewing, you all. Peace out and never give up on your DREAMS.